Hey everybody, it's day 242 of Training Daily Excellence. My name is Brad Gieske. Today, we're going to talk about stretching for soccer players. Now, number one, first and foremost, you're going to want to stick to a dynamic stretching routine before games and practices. The reason for that is because when we go into static stretching, where you're sitting there and you're just holding a position for a long period of time, we're stretching those muscles and we're decreasing the elastic potential of the muscles. We're decreasing the potential power output for those muscles by over lengthening them. Okay? So for our pre-game, pre-practice routine, we're going to want to make sure that is nearly all dynamic exercises, nearly all dynamic stretches. Okay? So a dynamic stretch is going to happen when we're going through a range of motion and we're doing repetitions of that, and we're not really like holding it through the whole range of motion. So as I'm coming here, I might do like a knee hug and then a lunge, and then I'll step into my next one, knee hug, lunge. So that's an example of one we might do for a dynamic warm-up. We could also go here and then lift up on toe, take a step forward here, lift up on toe. So I'm still moving throughout the entire repetition in some way, shape, or form. But again, I'm getting a stretch and kind of going from there. You can also do scoops. We can do the skips that we talked about in the video on skipping for soccer players. And so those are going to be our dynamic ones. If you're a high-level player and you have access to a weight room, you can do something called post-activation potentiation, okay? And so that's where we're lifting a weight that's nearly maximal for us. We're recruiting deep muscle fibers, and then we're going and playing a game after that. So this is used a lot in the NBA. Right before a game, they'll max out or get really close to their maximum weight. They'll do a squat, and then that increases their potential for power output for jumping and things like that. So that's another more advanced technique that you can start to incorporate if that's your level of play right now, if that's what makes the difference between you scoring the head ball goal and being a couple of centimeters shy of it in the end of the game. So other than that, I'm going to show you a static stretching routine. As I said, this one's not really a pregame thing. Okay, you can get like a muscle group if it just feels way over tight from a game the day before or something like that. But this is gonna mostly be post-game stuff, post-game, post-practice stuff. Okay, so I'll just lead you through this one. I call the Kenyan cool down because I learned this one in Kenya, and I'm just gonna add a couple of hip and calf stretches after it so that you can see those as well. Okay. Kenyan cool down. I'm not going to hold them for the full 15 seconds, but you typically hold these for 15 seconds apiece. So you're going to go down to one side. You'll hold that for 15. Then you're going to drop your butt back and down. You're going to hold this for 15. Then you're going to lift the toe. You're going to get that for 15. You'll really feel that in your hamstrings, all of those. You'll feel the last one in your calves as well. You'll feel the second one in your hips. So again, now I'm down to the other side. I'll drop into it, drop my hips back, and then lift the toe, stretch here. Okay? And then Kenya afterward, we do prayer fingers, head back, hands on head, down. Then we do 2 claps as a group. So that's a Kenyan cool down. Now I'll show you a couple others that you can add to it. Now this is one of my favorites. This is a hip flexor stretch, and it's great because as soccer players we're overworking our hips a ton. So this one, we're going to go to a half kneeling position like so. We're going to drop our hips forward and down. Okay, so we're going to push them forward and down into the ground. We're going to want a 90-degree angle here, and you'll just feel the stretch there as you have an upright body. So stretch is right here in this leg on that hip flexor. Okay, so we can switch that. Okay. If you're feeling really extreme, you can grab this back ankle, but I'm on concrete right now, so that would grind on my knee, so I'm not gonna do that. All right, we can stretch our calves with a traditional stretch like this, okay? So I think most of you probably do that one or are familiar with that one. And then we can cross one leg over the other and sit down. Okay, so if I'm here, cross one leg over the other, and then I'm gonna sit towards this heel. Okay, so this is a great one. This one gets the outside of your glutes, so your glute medius, gluteus medius there. And then we can also go into a yoga pose, the pigeon, so we cross one leg over the other. We're just gonna lay down over top of that leg, and then of course, switch to get the other side after you've stretched. I hope this helps some of you soccer players out there who probably aren't as flexible as you should be. Like I said in the video before this one, it is the small things that make greatness. It's an all or nothing investment. So if you want to be great, these small things, just taking 5 to 10 minutes to stretch, that's the difference between greatness and mediocrity. Okay, it takes every little thing day after day to become great. So why limit yourself? I'll see you guys tomorrow. In the meantime, like, subscribe, and share.